Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my parents after years of favoritism toward my brother? I, 17M, have one older brother, Sam, 19M, and for as long as I can remember, he has been our parents' golden child. It's not just me who thinks this. Literally everyone in our extended family has noticed. Sam knows it, my maternal and paternal grandparents know it, my aunt knows it, and even our cousins joke about it. When we were younger, the family joke was that if my parents ever ran out of money, they'd sell me off just so they could keep spoiling Sam.
Funny, right?
Except living through it wasn't so funny. A lot of this favoritism has to do with money and gifts, but not all of it.
The differences go way deeper than that.
Still, let me explain a few examples so you get the picture. When it comes to birthdays or Christmas, Sam always gets the best of the best. My parents make sure to buy him the biggest item on his wish list every single year, and then they'll call up extended family to suggest what else Sam might want so that he ends up with nearly everything he asked for. I've overheard my parents pushing my grandparents to buy him extra video games when they had already bought him the latest console, or telling an aunt to complete the jersey set he wanted. Meanwhile, my gifts? Generic stuff. Always clothes, shoes, or hygiene kits. Once in a while, maybe something trendy, but never what I actually asked for. I honestly don't think I've ever received something I truly wanted from my parents. It was always my grandparents or extended family who noticed my actual wish list. I remember one year in particular, I was about 7 or 8, and I begged for this Pokemon set for both my birthday and Christmas. I didn't get it either time. My grandparents, bless them, noticed how badly I wanted it and surprised me with it later. But instead of letting me enjoy it, my parents confiscated it and told my grandparents to keep it until my next birthday so it would count as a gift from them. That same year, Sam got his own custom-built PC. The difference couldn't have been clearer. It wasn't just gifts either. If Sam ever wanted something while we were out shopping, my parents had no problem buying it for him. For me, though, almost never. The one time they did was when I spotted shirts I liked. They bought them, but only because they said I needed new clothes anyway. Moments like that kept happening, and it became obvious I was the afterthought. Sports and hobbies were another huge difference. Sam was obsessed with football from a young age, and my parents enrolled him when he was just 4 years old. They spent thousands over the years, uniforms, equipment, league fees. When he didn't like one team, they switched him to another. They even drove him 2 hours away multiple times a week, just so he could play for a team he preferred.
Me?
I didn't get an extracurricular until I was 11. My elementary school took us on a field trip to try hockey, and I loved it. I begged my parents to let me play, but they flat out refused. Even when teachers and coaches told them I had potential, they said no. It was only when my maternal grandparents offered to pay that they reluctantly agreed. After I stuck with it for a year, my parents finally took over the costs, but their reasoning was insulting. They said they didn't want to waste money unless I proved I wouldn't quit. Sam quit teams all the time, and they never cared. Then there's the family support issue. My parents constantly preached about how important it was for us to support each other. We went to all of Sam's games, even practices, and I wasn't allowed to skip. But when it came to my games, suddenly it wasn't as important. I'll never forget one time a couple years ago, my parents asked Sam if he had a game, and when he said no, they were like, "Great, guess we're free tonight." I told them I had a game, and they just said, "Oh, sorry, didn't realize." Then Sam chimed in and said he wouldn't be there because he had plans with friends. They told him that was fine. Meanwhile, if I ever tried to skip one of his events, I got guilt-tripped. All of this has been building up inside me for years. Then a few weeks ago, my parents dropped a bombshell. They told me they needed my help fixing up the house because they were planning to sell it. This was the first time I had even heard about them selling. I was shocked, but then they casually said, "Oh, we already told Sam." That's when I lost it. I told them if they needed help, they should ask their favorite, the son they always keep in the loop. I told them I didn't care about the house and that they clearly cared more about Sam's involvement anyway. Then I went off. I brought up everything. The gifts, the hobbies, the way they treated our games, the way they always prioritized Sam's happiness over mine. Years of resentment came pouring out. They got mad. They said I was overreacting, that I was being disrespectful, and that I didn't get to refuse to help with the house just because I was jealous. I told them again, "Ask Sam. He's the golden boy, not me." Apparently, they then went crying to my grandparents and aunt about it, expecting backup, but it backfired. All of them sided with me. They told my parents they do play favorites, and that I was right to finally say something. Instead of reflecting, my parents got even angrier. They told me I had no right to throw it in their faces and that, favorite or not, I still needed to help with the house. Now we're stuck in this standoff. They're furious with me, and I'm furious with them. So, am I the a-hole for refusing to help and finally throwing their favoritism back at them?